Hello and welcome to episode number 22 of AEW Rise to the Top, where we are playing as Tony Khan, trying to get AEW to the biggest company in the wrestling world and the normal world, because the wrestling world is within the normal world. The more you know, the less is left. So we're back today with an episode of Dark and an episode of Dynamite. As per usual, we are coming up to the Full Gear pay-per-view, only 3 weeks away now? Yeah, 3 weeks away. Which is very exciting, isn't it? How exciting. How very exciting. So Dynamite is going to be packed with lots of build-up to that show, of course. But as always, we are kicking off with an episode of AEW Dark. Last week we got a 44 rating. Can we beat that this week? Let's find out. And we are kicking off with Tainara Mello taking on Sadie Gibbs. And it is Mello who picks up the victory in 12 minutes and 24 seconds via pinfall. Mello had a 28, Gibbs had a 26. Knew we were going to get these things as always. Only got a 17 rating, which was expected. And 7 got a bonus from the road agent work of Gail Kim, who a couple episodes ago we showed her signing. And she's now, her contract with Impact has ended. She's now officially joined us. This is the first show where she's joined us. So we have Gail Kim is going to be doing all of the road agent work for the women's division. And it got a bonus from that, which is good. So, hooray. Let's move on to the next segment where we just have a hype video for the Bunny taking on Chris Statlander. They used to have been at each other's throats for weeks now. Possibly even months. Can't quite remember how long they've been at each other's throats, but it's been a while. And they are finally going to get their hands on each other on Dark next week in the main event. And next up we have Kip Sabian in action, taking on Michael Nakazawa in, and it is Sabian who picks up the victory in 10 minutes and 9 seconds with a springboard drop kick. Their segment got a 31 rating, Sabian got a 47, and Nakazawa got a 42. The crowd was turned off again by having people, but, you know, I was going through and looking at all the popularity of people, and a lot of people, there's been, like, no changes. So I think, I kind of went for, like, Dark still have storylines and stuff, which I still think it should, but I also just kind of think that I should be just like putting people over, just getting people loads of wins to boost their popularity. So I'm kind of like, I'm still experimenting with how I kind of want what I want Dark to be, because I did kind of have like a separate roster list going on, but there's not enough people to actually do like separate rosters and have like a championship and all things like that. And then you run into the same problem where, because Dark is so short, you can still only like push a certain number of people on Dark, so then all the people that I kind of wanted, you know, like Kip Sabian, who I want to be bigger, Jungle Boy, who's in the main event of this episode, who I want to have more popularity to be a bigger star, you kind of wouldn't still be pushing them as much. So I think maybe I'm just going to try this for a couple of in-game months, see how it works, and if it's bad, then I'll go back, and if it's good, then we'll keep doing this, but who knows. Anyway, that was a tangent and a half, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next segment where we have Jamie Hayter is shown backstage getting ready, taping up her wrists for her matchup, which is next against Shanna, and it is Jamie Hayter who picks up the victory in 8 minutes and 7 seconds with a curb stomp. Segment got a 22. I just want that one to go away for Jamie Hayter, because I think she's great, and then we can use her more. So Jamie Hayter had a performance of 38 and Shanna had 25. Again, every match. See, like, it's just sacrificing ratings is what I'm a bit tentative about, but also I don't really care, because like this doesn't affect the popularity at all. So who knows? Anyway, the match brought the crowd back down, which is not great, and everything was penalised. But again, segment rating got a bonus for the road agent work of Gail Kim, which is very nice. So now let's move on to the next segment where we have a music video promoting Jungle Boy, just like a hype package for Jungle Boy. And then in the main event, we have Jungle Boy taking on Peter Avalon. and it is Jungle Boy who picks up the victory by pinfall. Jungle Boy had a performance of 43, Avalon had a 33. They didn't like seeing Avalon. Avalon was off his game. Luchasaurus was at ringside and they had good chemistry. Lever Bates did some good stuff at ringside. It's got a 34 rating again. So this is what I kind of mean, just sort of just knowing going into it, we're going to get terrible ratings because every match is just kind of going to be what Dark is in real life, where it's just, you know, people just destroying like jobbers. But yeah, I don't like sort of purposefully getting bad ratings. But at the same time, I feel like it's for the future. So maybe if this is how I'm going to do Dark from now on, or for a couple of months, if you don't want to see these episodes, because again, they're kind of going to be quite like, we'll look at the rating for this one, 29. They're probably all going to be like this for a while. So if you'd rather not see these in the video, and maybe I will just sort of go how I did in like the first episode, I will just maybe show this screen at the end, or just go on it after Dynamite and show the show history. That's absolutely fine. Just let me know in the comments down below, and because I don't want to make the videos like too long or boring with kind of, you know, not too interesting. You know, if you want to keep seeing it and see how all the people develop and stuff, I think that might be quite interesting to maybe see how like Tainara Mello starts getting higher match ratings and things like that. That might be quite fun. But then also you'd see that on Dynamite. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is I'm open to suggestions. So just let me know down below what you would like to do. But now let's kick on. Let's go to AEW Dynamite. It's going to be a big show. I will see you in a second. Hello and welcome to AEW Dynamite. We got a massive show for you tonight. As always, last week in Daly's Place, the home of AEW, we had an 80 rated show, and in that we had the debut of Davey Boy Smith Jr. We had Death Triangle, the Elite being very, very naughty now, as I named that one, where they took out Rey Fenix. And we'll find out tonight how bad that injury is going to be, although if you watched all of last episode, you already know. We had Darby Allin taking on Ortiz in the first of his Inner Circle challenges. And we had Private Party becoming the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. So now, let's move on to this episode of Dynamite. Let's just jump straight into it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And we start off tonight with JR standing in the ring. There are 2 chairs, a table, and the ring has a red carpet over the mat. I should say we're coming at you live in front of 5,951 people at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. And JR says, "Welcome to AEW Dynamite, and what a show we have for you tonight. We are starting off at the request of Tony Khan with the contract signing between the challenger, Kenny Omega, and the AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. Moxley comes down to the ring, reads the contract, and then waits. Omega comes down, reads the contract, signs it, and goes to leave, but Moxley picks up a mic. Hey, Kenny, you read the contract, right? You saw the clause, surely. Once we sign this, we can't lay a finger on each other until Full Gear, but Ken, I haven't signed anything yet. And you have." Mox throws the mic into Omega's face. He hits Omega with chair shot after chair shot. He then throws Omega onto the table, climbs up, and hits a paradigm shift through the table. He collects the contract off the floor, signs, throws it on Omega, and leaves him lying in a broken table. This got a 91 rating, so you know, a decent way to start off the show, I guess. The World Championship storyline advanced and gained heat. JR improvised well. Moxley, Omega took a stump bump, which was him going through that table. There were no penalties. No penalties at all. Just good things all around. 91, that's the highest rating we've ever had on this game. Bloody get in there. Let's move on to the next segment, where this is honestly higher than I thought it was going to be. So we have Maria Manic taking on Yuka Sakazaki, and it is Maria Manic who picks up the victory in 12.5 minutes with an Alabama slam. It's got a 40 rating, which is good considering the crowd weren't thrilled with seeing Manic. I lifted the crowd, which I shouldn't have done because I should have known that the first segment already should have lifted them up high enough. Lifted them high enough? You know what I mean, got them high enough. So yeah, Maria Manic had a 40, Sakazaki had a 34. Gail Kim again is now the, like I said in Dark, is now the road agent for the women's division. And a couple of penalties there, one for negative crowd reaction and one for awful gimmick. Everything else is kind of like the game, but those two definitely are me being bad. But now let's move on to the next segment where we have the Four Horsemen and Tully come out to the ring. MJF has a microphone. This group has become stagnant, don't you think? We hold 2 championships and yet we're barely on TV. Why is that? I've been thinking about that for a long time and then it suddenly occurred to me. We've become stagnant because we are. What we need is some fresh blood. Spears looks at him confused. So please welcome the newest member of the legendary Four Horsemen, Jasper Cown. Cown makes his way down to the ring wearing a suit and hugs MJF. Spears grabs a microphone. Max, what the hell are you talking about? You can't just bring new people in. I'm in charge here. Max grimaces and puts a hand on Sean's shoulder. See, that's where you're wrong, buddy. You were in charge. Cown then low blows Spears and the Four Horsemen all attack their former leader. This got a 56 segment rating. The TNT Championship storyline advanced and gained heat, but the tag title storyline lost heat. I didn't want the tag title. That must be just because they're involved. The performance of MJF was good and too many... Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I did have some build-up, but obviously not enough build-up. The turn was a complete disaster. Awesome. Love that. Both of those two have low morale, which I'm going to have to fix. Segment rating was penalised due to the TNT storyline's low heat. So yeah, not a great segment, but Jasper Cown is now a member of the Four Horsemen. MJF is now the leader of the Four Horsemen, and Sean Spears has been kicked out of the group that he didn't found the Four Horsemen, but founded the current iteration of the Four Horsemen. Let's say that. It's so bloody hot. To record, I've had to turn off the fan, close all the windows, close my door, and it's like 34 degrees where I am, and it's horrible and I hate it. So yeah, my brain is just not working. But anyway, next up we have Brian Cage in action against Jack Evans, and Brian Cage does pick up the victory with the drill claw, getting a 63 rating in the process. Brian Cage had a performance of 67, Jack Evans had a 35. They have great chemistry. That's good to know. Any penalties for this one? Just inconsistency and trying to go all out. That's fine. The crowd is hot, which is real good. Yeah, a decent little middle of the show, not middle of the show, but you know, towards the beginning of the show match, just to get Brian Cage some TV time and a big victory. And next up, we have Big Swole sitting in a dark room wearing her Dark Order mask. She removes it and stares down the camera. Tony, you want to know why? Is it not obvious? You said that I ruined your debut, made it all about me. Yeah, I did. Because I deserve the spotlight that you have. You've been a champion all over the world, Tony, but you decide that's not enough? You decide that you need to come here and become another woman in my way to becoming AEW Women's Champion? You got off lightly for that, and at Full Gear, you're going to pay the full price. 38 rated segment there, again, just more build up to the Swole Tony Storm match. I don't know why I laughed at that, I was just kept, in my head I was going, Swole! 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 Like her lovely theme tune. Probably changed in this universe now. I don't, you know, it's not a very like Dark Ordery Healy thing, is it? She comes out wearing her master. Swole! Swole! Anyway, you can tell I'm hot because I'm chatting pure shit. Anyway, let's move on to the next segment where we have Matt Cardona taking on Mr. Brody Lee. And again, Matt Cardona can't seem to find his first win in AEW, and it is Mr. Brody Lee who picks up the victory with a big discus clothesline. I know, I'm just sort of like, I haven't changed the finishers, so when the finisher isn't what I want it to be, I'm just saying the other one. And I'll get around to changing them all eventually. I do it when I remember, and I'll do it for like the people going into the match, but I forget a lot of the time, so that's why. The segment got 65, another like pretty decent middle of the match show. Matt Cardona had a performance of 52 and Brody Lee had a 62. The Dark Order Growth storyline advanced. They didn't like seeing Matt Cardona, and it is important to say that, excuse me, Hangman Page is at ringside for this match. Ooh. We obviously saw last week Brody Lee coming down to Hangman Page's first match since he came back off that injury. Seems, you know, like maybe Brody Lee is trying to get Hangman Page to join the Dark Order. Who knows? You know, both of them were penalised for inconsistency, and Matt Cardona was penalised for a negative crowd reaction. But yeah, let's move on to the next segment, where after the match, Lee grabs a mic and beckons Page into the ring, as well as the rest of the Dark Order. Adam, do you see what power the Dark Order could bring you? We know what you want, and we can get it for you, Adam. I see you holding the AEW Championship, but I know that doesn't interest you right now, does it, Adam? Do you know what else I see, Adam? I see you standing over a broken and bloodied Kenny Omega. We all heard what he said. He's not going to fight you, Adam, but we can make it happen. Brody Lee holds out his hand. What do you say, Adam? Join us. Page considers for a moment, asks for the microphone. He raises it to his lips. Nah. He drops the mic and goes to exit, but is jumped by Lee and the rest of the Dark Order, who beat him down. Brody Lee grabs the mic and shouts, "You could have been great, Adam. You could have been great." The Dark Order storyline advanced. Segment rating got a 63. They both improvised well, which is good. Yeah, nothing. They both have legendary gimmicks. That's pretty good. Hopefully they've got some good chemistry, because there's probably going to be a match between them. Just, you know, it's quite obvious at this point, isn't it? At some point there'll be a match. So yeah, Mr. Brody Lee trying to get Hangman Page to join the Dark Order, but Page not having any of it. Let's move on to the next segment, where we have Private Party. A video plays of them sitting in their garden on lawn chairs. Isaiah Cassidy speaks first. FTR, we've watched you for years. Hell, for a while we wanted to have even half the chemistry that you guys have. In a weird way, man, you kind of inspired us, even when you were shouting bullshit about no flips. Mark Quinn, you see guys, this is a dream match for us. But you know what else was a dream match? Private Party versus the Young Bucks. Do you remember how that one ended? Because I do. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. No distractions, no manager helping us cheat. Just Private Party making a name for ourselves. It's our time. We've earned this shot, and we're going to take it. Segment got a 42 rating. A little bit disappointing, but neither of them are that great on the mic. Which I don't think is fair, because they're pretty good in real life on the mic. But on the game, they're not too great. The tag title storyline advanced. Cassidy was poor when trying to improvise, and Mark Quinn did well. That's the only negative, is Cassidy improvising. So yeah, just more build up to the title match at Full Gear. But now let's move on, and we have Dr. Britt Baker is already standing in the ring with a microphone, and she says, "Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Waiting Room. Today we're talking about working with your community. As a role model, I think it's very important to help those less fortunate than you in your community. So today, I'm going to invite a local competitor out here to help this community by giving one of these small-time wrestlers the chance to be in the ring with a true star." Rachel Ellering then comes down to the ring with a referee following close behind. The bell rings and Ellering runs at Baker. Baker easily ducks, takes her down and applies the lockjaw. Ellering taps immediately. Baker stands up and picks up the microphone. "Thanks for watching. See you all next week. Bye." So there we have another episode, another waiting room segment, I guess we'll call it. It got 53, which again is pretty decent. Last week was a 55. I don't know why it's different, because I literally did the exact same thing, just the writing's different. But yeah, a pretty good segment there. 53. Nice, good job. I'm glad that that's getting up there. You know, it's a good way to keep Baker on TV every week without having to, you know, like job out a load of women. And also while Tenille Dashwood is serving her suspension. So yeah, so let's move on to the next segment. And here we go. Here we bleed and go. So the Elite come to the ring in full gear, ready for their match. Before Best Friends can come out, Cody grabs a microphone. Last week, we fractured Death Triangle. I've been told Phoenix is going to be out for at least 6 months, but hey, the full gear match is already official. Looks like it's going to have to be a 3v2 for the championship. That's fine with us. Good luck, guys. You're really going to need it. It's got an 87 rating. That's more like it. The Death Triangle storyline advanced and the Trio storyline advanced and gained heat, which is beautiful. It's done to a very hot crowd. The only thing was that the Trio storyline has low heat currently. But that's alright. We'll get out there eventually with more segments like this. So now let's move on to that Elite versus Best Friends matchup. Oh, and it's an 81 rating, which is beautiful. And it is, shockingly, the Elite, the Trios champions, who pick up the victory in just under 20 minutes, a very long match, when Cody pinned Chuck Taylor with a crossroads. Cassidy had a 73, Beretta had a 63, Chuck had a 61, Nick had a 78, Matt had a 74, and Cody had a 75. And apparently Nick Jackson was really off his game, and he still got a 74. They've still got a 78 even. He was the best person in the match, and he was still really off his game. Again, all of the Elite have a hot new move that they're still using. Maybe that's like a big triple finisher. Who knows? Segment got an 81, which is beautiful. Are there any penalties on this one? Trent Beretta for inconsistency, Cassidy for poor momentum, and Nick Jackson for inconsistency. But still, a great co-main event. And now let's move on to the next segment, where we have, after the match, the Titantron flickers and shows Pac and Pentagon sitting in a dark room. Pac says, "You really did a number on Ray. You think you're so smart, but you've just pissed us off. Oh, and Cody, it won't be 3v2. We found a friend." Dragon Lee then walks out from the darkness and stands next to Pac and Penta. Oh, Dragon Lee has debuted his fan favourite gimmick and got very good, finally. Gimmick did well. Death Triangle storyline advanced and gained heat, and the tag title storyline advanced. The 70 rating, and also I need to turn him babyface. Yeah, that's fine. I needed to do that because he wasn't actually involved in the segment where I wanted to do the big change. So I had to do it in this one, which is a bit annoying, but it's done now. No penalties to speak of. 70 rating, and yeah, Dragon Lee is in, and he is an honorary member, shall we say, of Death Triangle. Yeah, I was trying to find someone sort of Ray Phoenix style to bring in, and I saw Dragon Lee was available, and he's only 25, and he's really good. So I thought, let's bring him in. And, you know, he's a fan favourite. Everyone bleeding loves him. But now, let's move on to the main event of the evening. It's Darby Allin taking on Santana of the of the Inner Circle. And yeah, this is coming along again. Darby Allin has to beat all of the members of the Inner Circle before he gets the chance to face Chris Jericho at Full Gear. Oh, that's good. That's really nice. And in a good match, it is Darby Allin who picks up the victory in 17 minutes and 3 seconds with a coffin drop. They got a 79 rating, which is really nice. Darby Allin had a performance of 82, which is beautiful. Santana had a 57. The Inner Circle storyline advanced. Darby Allin benefited from a hot new move, and he had a groundswell of public support. Are there any penalties? Just Santana holding back an inconsistency, which isn't too bad. And that was the last segment of the show as well. So a nice way to end it. 78, not quite the 89 or whatever it was I think we ended with last week, but still, for a main event match, the last two matches on this card, an 81 and a 79, are really, really nice. So let's go finish the show and see how we got on overall. And we got another 80! Back to bleeding back 80s. I didn't think this one was going to be as high, but apparently it is. Apparently it was. Only like 2 light blues. I think we had a little bit more than that last week. A couple of like a 40 and a 38 in there. I thought, you know, still thought it was going to be good because all the matches were kind of, you know, what was the lowest match? Well, 40, but other than that, like 63, 65, and then 81, 79. So pretty decent. you know. But another 80, damn. And that increased our popularity in 38 regions again. Oh, I feel like, touch wood, I'm slightly getting the hang of this. I feel like, you know, I know what I'm doing now. But anyway, let's go to the main menu. We'll check our emails, we'll check all that good stuff, and then we'll call it an episode. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so here we are, and quickly let's just look at the news articles. Miko Satomura is retiring. WWE are looking to extend the contract of Adam Cole. Can we negotiate with him? We can. 73,000 a month. I don't think we can quite swing that currently, but you never know. Maybe we'll have Adam Cole here in the near future. And then there is a new champion. Serena Deeb is the new NXT Women's World Champion after defeating India Hartwell. Okay. That's new. Braun Strowman is apparently looking to re-sign. Very nice. I don't want Braun Strowman. All Japan, Raising an Army. Ring of Honor again are offering more contracts. And Ruaka, that's how I'm going to say that, is back at 100%. So let's have a look at ours quickly. We've got an 80 and a 2.58 TV rating. 1.9 million viewers altogether, which is pretty good. Let's see how NXT got on. They got a 72 and a 2.36. We bloody beat them twice again. We beat them properly. How good. How good. That's amazing. That is beautiful. We're on a bit of a tear currently, aren't we? 280s in a row, beating NXT in the ratings and, like, you know, the TV ratings and the rating. Let's see how we got on with Ring of Honor. We got a 77. We beat Ring of Honor. They did, yeah. And we beat them in the viewers as well. Amazing. We actually beat Ring of Honor for once. What about New Japan? We beat New Japan as well. AJ Styles is now in New Japan. I did try to sign him when he got released, but he went. They could just offer him so much more money than I wanted to, which is fair enough. But yeah, AJ Styles is in the main event of New Japan. But we beat New Japan as well. All Japan, I'm guessing we beat as well. Yep. So let's have a look. Just drug test fees and that. What a bloody good show. So we've got 2 more weeks, 2 more Dynamites, 2 more Darks before AEW Fallout, the pay-per-view. Fallout, Full Gear, different full even. Like, it's full and full. It's Full Gear. Completely different words, Charlie, you idiot. But if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, let me know if you want me to keep putting Dark in these episodes. It's up to you. I can always just do a rundown, like maybe once a month, with all the stuff. Yeah, this is probably, I'm not going to have time to make any more for a while. This will probably go up before I have time to make the next episode. So if I don't, I'll put it in the next episode no matter what. But possibly, you know, just bloody, I don't need to keep going on about it, do I really? Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe. And I will see you for the next episode very soon. Goodbye.